18.3, head down for Pratama, 2 seconds in hand. I don't think there's going to be anything that Adaki, Takehira, Mitani and Ogiwara can do. Of course, it really is only Adaki that we're concentrating on this time around. The number 14 rider, he's got to get his head down for it unless Pratama makes some sort of mistake, which he could do. He made a mistake in race 1, had a little bit of scare on the exit of turn 2 last time around, but 1.1 seconds quicker he was on that last lap. Pratama, expertly done.
Brilliant lap from Pratama on lap 8 of 11 to post the fastest lap of the race, a 2:18.354, 1.1 seconds faster than the group behind. He is well over 2 seconds clear now. This is it. Pratama has gone. It's in his hands now. I'm sure as he comes across the line next time around, there's going to be a pit board saying P1 plus 2.5, maybe even a little bit more. And I'm sure his mechanic will be giving him the signatory tap on the forehead. Use your brain, please, Vader Pratama. Just bring it home.
Going to get a replay here then. Pratama, this is when he'd just broken the slipstream of the riders behind, crossing the line around about half a second to a second clear, and this is when he just got his head down. I think this was potentially the lap where he made that little bit of an error, a little bit of a scare on the apex of turn 2. As you can see, the gap is just growing and growing. 2.1 seconds through the second split. Adaki still has the trio of Japanese riders behind him. I think they're doing their best not to try and disrupt Adaki because they're all close friends here in the Asia Talent Cup. They know what's on the line for Adaki, but unfortunately for Adaki, that 2.3 second disadvantage he has to Pratama now is going to be too much of a gap to bridge. Pratama has got his head down, he's in the groove, and when he's in this mode, Pratama, no one really this season has been able to stop him from taking victory and ultimately potentially coming in a couple of laps time from taking the title. Ogiwara now up to second, Adaki doing his best to do all he can, dives up the inside of the final corner to retake the lead, but it's just going to cost him time and time. The number 7 then, 2 laps to go for Pratama. What is the gap across the line? Is it above 3 seconds for the first time? No, not quite. 2.3 seconds, but a commanding position for Pratama to be in.
I was looking out of our commentary box window just to see the pit board going out, and it was in fact P1 plus 2.5, and you guessed it, a little tap on the forehead as well. 2 laps to go, Vader, please, for the love of God, use your mind here, use your brain. Let's just bring it across the line because the championship is within touching distance now.
Here's the battle for P6 and downwards in towards the lower ends of the top 10. Hafai currently leading the way. We're focusing on Pratama, of course. Unfortunately for Pratama, his title dreams in 2023 are all but over with 1.5 laps to go. Ogiwara, Takehira, Mitani still fighting away with Adaki, but the gap through the first split, Pratama 2.4 seconds now. Adaki's been demoted back to P4. Unfortunately for Adaki, I think he knows, unfortunately, that this is the end of his title charge. Like we say, unless Pratama makes some sort of error, which he hasn't done in this position all season long. Yesterday was a bit of an anomaly in tricky conditions, just hit the front of the race, clearly pushing a little bit too hard on the second lap. But we've seen this in Indonesia, in Japan, back here in Malaysia, of course. In race 2, he went on to claim his first victory of the season. Takehira won the first race of the season here in Malaysia in a close fight, but no one this time around as Adaki takes a long look over his shoulder. 1 and a bit laps to go. Ogiwara now has a decent advantage for P2. Adaki in P3. Mitani up the inside, of Takehira for P4 as Takehira demotes to P5. But Pratama then 2 seconds in hand. The gap is dropping slightly, but of course nowhere near enough. Pratama's just managing this exactly what he needs to do. No mistakes. And as we round the final corner for the penultimate time, the race was won and lost here yesterday. The title is on the line for Pratama. Takehira getting it a little bit out of shape there. Takehira desperately wants that podium place. The first one since Malaysia back in September. But as we cross the line, it's last lap time in Malaysia, race 2. Pratama leads by 2.1 seconds. The title is on the line for the Indonesian.
5.5 kilometres to go for Veda Pratama to make history and become the first Indonesian to win the Idemitsu Asia Talent Cup and join an illustrious list of names that have gone on to Grand Prix glory. Will he join them in years to come? I mean, the way that he's managed this season so far, 6 victories, you would say very close to making that 7. A second place to his name as well. He's been outside of the top 2 on only 2 occasions. It's been near enough a perfect campaign, as unfortunately on the final lap we've got a coming together there between a couple of riders. The number 19 has gone down, that's Hafai. Couldn't really see who the second one was. They were in that second group fighting it out for a top 6 finish. But what a performance it's been today from Pratama. What a season it's been for the young Indonesian as well.
It was Al Sahuti who unfortunately went down at turn 1 with the Malaysian Hafai, but Pratama then half a lap to go. He'll be dreaming of this. This is exactly what we would have wanted coming into race 2. Undoubtedly the pressure would have been high, especially after yesterday's crash, but he's dealt with pressure all season long. He's had a stellar season, has the number 7 of Pratama, well worthy of the championship. The battle rages on for P3 and P2. Adaki can see Pratama out front. He knows that this is all he can do, finish as high as possible. Ogiwara currently holding second place, but for Pratama, a couple of corners to negotiate and he will be crowned the 2023 champion.
Adaki's definitely going to have a go here as we go in towards the final corner, turn 15. Just one opportunity left for the final podium places, but of course our attention, our focus is on the number 7. Round of applause early from the team members from the Idemitsu Asia Talent Cup paddock. One corner to go for Veda Pratama to wrap up this championship, but it's all on the line for second and third. Who's going to take it?
Oh, Adaki up the inside and out of shape. Who's that going up the inside? I couldn't quite see, but it is all about Veda Pratama. Indonesia, stand on your feet. A new star is born. Veda Pratama wins his 7th race of the season, and he is the 2023 Idemitsu Asia Talent Cup champion. Veda Pratama, congratulations, what a season, what a victory. Number 7 for the number 7, and he is the 2023 title winner.
It's 7 heaven for Veda Pratama, the number 7 on the front of his bike. A magnificent 7th victory here today. What a rider. The road to MotoGP has only just begun for the young Indonesian, but I think we can be assured it's a long road ahead for that talented young man. The future is indeed bright for Veda Pratama.
What a race from Pratama. New coming into Malaysia. He had a commanding lead, but you've still got to get the job done. And after yesterday's disappointment, coming into this morning would not have been easy for Pratama, especially with Adaki finishing in first place. But Pratama, we wondered what he would do this morning, and he did it to absolute perfection, as he has done for most of this season. A 7th win, as we say, equals tie for Osato's win record for a season. For Osato, of course, picked up his